Hi, I'm Paul. A little bit ill today, so please excuse if my voice is a little bit croaky. I'm going to make this video to try to answer a question which I've been asked many of times in the past, which I've not really been able to have a good enough response to. And the question is where do thoughts come from? And for a long time, I've not really been able to work this one out, but I think I've got a reasonable enough response now. So I believe that thoughts are just brain movement. So your brain is quite often vibrating and shaping and making new neurons and connecting neurons and just generally making movement. So to help you understand how this relates to thoughts, I'm just going to shift on to something different. So I'm going to talk about colour, because in science it's proven, I think physics is proven, that there is no such thing as colour in the outside world. So everything is colourless. Quite literally, everything is just colourless. And what happens, how the colour is created, is the light, which is an electromagnetic wave, would shine onto an object and reflect back off the object. And as it's reflected off the object, the frequency of the wave changes. And when that frequency hits your eyes and gets sent to your brain makes a picture of that wave. So it tries to make an understanding and creates the colour green or the colour red. And it's like this with all other things as well, even shapes and things we look at. And all of this is created in our brain as an image to help us understand what's going on, to paint a picture. And going back to the thought process being just the movement of the brain, the thoughts are the way of understanding what is going on. So the movement in the brain itself, we just wouldn't really be able to notice it. Maybe a slight humming or something like that, but we need to understand that. We need to paint a picture of what's actually going on. So the thoughts is what paint the picture to help us understand, in the same way that the eyes pick up a signal and we paint a picture to make the colour green. So all of this brain movement is just creating, or we're viewing it as thoughts. I think this is also the same as dreaming at night time as well. You go to bed at night and you start to relax, but your brain continues trying to reshape itself as you're relaxed, and this creates lots of thoughts and dreams and images and so on in the brain. So it's just our way of being able to see or paint a picture for us to be able to see what's actually going on in our head, in our brain. In non-duality, we talk about trying to get rid of the ego. And a lot of people who are on the journey believe that by getting rid of the ego, you get rid of the thoughts. And that's not true. When you do finally get rid of the ego, you realize the thoughts are still happening. But the idea is to distance yourself from the thoughts, so we don't really have much of a reaction. Also, we could look at this with meditation as well. If you think about it, if you're in a busy city, there's lots of things going on, your thoughts become quite hectic. We do say that, if your thoughts are quite hectic, you should go out into the countryside, go into a peaceful, quiet place, because there's not much stimulation. And the stimulation is what's making your brain move more, essentially. And that extra movement is read by thoughts. And obviously, the more that's happening, the more movement in your brain and the more thoughts that you have. So going into a peaceful place or trying to switch off by meditating, trying to stop all stimulation, then the brain slows down, movement slows down, and therefore thought slows down. So anyway, that was my best explanation, what I could come up with where thoughts come from. Thanks for listening.